Hello ENC students, this is your professor Michael Bloomingberg back again for a new video. The purpose of this video is to walk you through the week 2 coursework. So as always, I'm on the Blackboard home page, and in the corner in the blue colored box, now you'll notice that there are a few more tabs showing on my end than you'll see on your end. That's to be expected. That's normal because I have hidden some features, and there are some instructor features that you don't have access to. So it looks a little different, but it's the exact same. And what I'm going to do is click on weekly assignments. Now I've got some folders already preloaded, but on your end you should see week 1 folder and week 2. Once I click on weekly assignments, I'm going to go down to the week 2 folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to go down. There's the week 2 folder, August 22nd through 28th. Go ahead and click that. This is always how you want to begin each week. All right, so this is always kind of systematically organized for you so that you always start with your coursework assignment sheets. It's the exact same sheet for the Word document and PDF file. I just make sure that I put it in both formats in case you have trouble opening one or the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the Word document, and this will show you what you need to be working on this week. So go ahead and open that up. Okay. So this week you have some readings to complete. Hopefully week 1 went well for you and you were able to complete your discussion board assignment and the syllabus quiz, and at least get registered and started on basic grammar module. This week we're kicking things into gear a little bit by looking at some readings. From the Right Stuff ebook, you have access to the ebook through the purchase of your code for the My Writing Lab. And a little bit later in this video, I'll show you how to access and work your way through the ebook. But you're going to be reading the Building Blocks of Essays. That's Chapter 5, pages 83 through 101. And I even put a note to make sure you check out this very video to show you how to use the ebook. Also, in the other book, that's the ebook, but for the actual handheld book in the class, which is Picking Cotton, you are to read the prologue, pages 1 through 3, and Chapter 1, pages 9 through 17. I just put a note to stop at the last paragraph of page 17, but this is a really good book. It's got very heavy subject matter, but you might have trouble stopping at that point. You might just get really engrossed in the book. And if that happens, it's okay if you want to read ahead a little bit. That's just, I've broken the reading into smaller sections with the understanding that we're going to read the whole book as we go through the semester. So these reading assignments need to be completed before you do anything else this week. So go ahead and start with the readings. Okay. Once you get the readings done, there is an activity that you're going to work on this week from the ebook, and it's activity 5.2. It's thesis practice, pages 87 through 88 in the Right Stuff ebook. Note that your directions on the assignment sheet that you are to type and submit the activity as listed in the book, with all parts included. Use complete sentences. Create your own thesis statements based on the topics given in the exercise. And note that the activity starts on page 87 but extends over to page 88. Your deadline for your work this week is 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, August 28th, so you'll want to note that. Okay. You do have a Blackboard discussion assignment, and your assignment this week relates to your assigned reading and Picking Cotton. You only have one Blackboard assignment this week in the discussion board, I should say. So just one of those. You'll be keeping busy with the Basic Grammar Module 1. You have until August 28th, that's this upcoming Sunday, to have that whole module completed. Okay? So that's your list of stuff to be working on for this week. So I'm going to click off of this. I'll go back to the week 2 folder. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is below the assignment sheet files is you have the access to the EText, and it's a direct link. So all you got to do is click on it, assuming you've already registered for the lab, which you should have done last week. So I'm just going to click on it, and in just a moment it's going to take me into access for the ebook. Okay, it's loading in. For whatever reason, it's been my experience that the ebook loads up at 157%. It's kind of big. I don't know why it does that. If you are up at the top, there's a plus and minus, a zoom in and zoom out. I'm going to zoom that out just a little bit so that we can get, I'll actually take it down to 100%, which is just the normal capacity there. The ebook, let me explain the ebook for just a minute. There is an actual hardbound, well, it's not really hardbound, but there's an actual version of the book that you could have bought. You were not supposed to buy it though, because the ebook came free with the purchase of your code. The whole idea here was to try to keep the price down as much as we can. I understand you pay a lot for books and materials. So while it's not ideal to always be working with an ebook, I know it's hard to sometimes read on a computer or electronic device, but this was a money saving venture that we were trying to do here, so I hope you understand that. It's pretty easy to operate though. So for example, you have to read pages, I think it was 83 to 101 or something like that. So if you go up to the top, you'll see where my cursor, I'll wiggle my cursor so you can see it, where it says page and there's a little white box. Just type in 83 and hit your enter key for if you're working in the computer. And it will actually take you to that part of the book. And expository essays, and that's correct, so that's exactly where you want to start. And you're going to read through the next 18 pages all the way to 101. Now for the activity, 87, I'm going to type that in. That will take you to the actual activity in the book. At least it should have. There it goes. It's just being a little slow. So it's activity 5.2. You'll see it at the bottom of page 87. But if you want to click the arrows to get to the next page, you just click it and it'll take you right on into page 88. And that's where the actual activity unfolds. So I just wanted to show you that. And just so you're clear, you need to type the activity just as it appears in the book. So you'll type the number 1 with thesis. You'll have your thesis where the line would theoretically be. And don't forget to put your thesis points A, B, and C. You're using the ones that the exercise gives you for your points. So jazz music, rock and roll, classical music in the first one. But you're using those points to create your own thesis, if that makes sense. If you have questions about the activity, you can always email me, and I'll try my best to give you what I hope will be a clear response to any questions you have. But that's the ebook in a nutshell. It's pretty easy to operate and hopefully saved you a little bit of money in the process. So I'm going to click off the ebook. Okay. Once you have the activity typed out, you'll type it out using your own processing system. I use Microsoft Word, so many of you may use that. You need to submit it, and here's how you do that. You see the link here that says Activity 5.2 Thesis Practice. By the way, I'm back in the Week 2 folder. You're just going to click it. It is a link. There it goes. Gives you the instructions again. And what you do is once you save it to your flash drive or hard drive, I always recommend students save to a flash drive because computers do crash from time to time. Just go down to Browse My Computer to attach your file. You just click it and then you search your file either from your computer or flash drive and just select your file for the assignment. And then once you've done that, you can click Submit, and that'll send it right to me. There is a comments box, but please do not copy-paste your work to the comment box. It makes it very, very difficult for me to review. The comment box is if there's just something you want me to know related to the assignment. Sometimes students leave me a note that said, I kind of struggled on this assignment. Can you let me know how I did, or whatever the case may be. But if you need to leave me a little comment there, you can feel free to do it. Okay? So I'm going to hit cancel because I don't have anything to submit, but just remember that you'll hit submit once you attach your file. Okay, so by hitting cancel, it's going to take me back to the week 2 folder. The discussion board is linked, so when I click it, you're going to see a lot of discussion forums because I've got some, again, preloaded, but I'm going to scroll down with special attention to the discussion assignment for this week. So I'll click it. I'll go down. It's at the very bottom. Picking cotton week 2. So click on that. Well, I misclicked, so I'll go back. Sorry about that. Okay. So this brings you to the discussion assignment for this week. And this is to be completed after you read the Picking Cotton selection for this week. I'm asking you to respond to the following questions. What do you think about the prologue of the book? That's the first question. Just what do you think about it? It's a little bit of a different lead-in compared to what's going to come later. How would you compare the prologue to the section from chapter 1 that you read? And then lastly, is it difficult to read the selection from Jennifer's perspective in chapter 1? Some very thought-provoking questions, so I look forward to reading your responses on that. Just remember that the same protocol is in place as from week 1. That is, you need to have a 100-word or more response to these questions, and you're required to have at least a 100-word reply to a classmate or classmates. Remember that you can split your reply to include more than one classmate to reach your word count if you need to do that. And again, our deadline that we're operating under this week is 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, August 28th. Okay? So there is that. And I'm going to go back to the week 2 folder. All right, last thing. We're almost done. I appreciate your patience in this video. You registered for my writing lab, and you might have noticed that there's a link over here in the blue box for it. Once you're registered, if I could be honest with you, I wouldn't really fool too much with the link in the blue box anymore. I put that there for you to register for your convenience. Once you're registered, I'm going to put a direct link right to the learning path in each week folder. So in the week 2 folder, you have a direct link to the learning path. Let me show you what I mean. When I click it, it's going to take me right into the lab and the learning path. So I just clicked it, and boom, there I am. I'm in the learning path. So remember that this week you are finishing what you should have started last week. You should have hopefully been able to get registered and started on this very first module, which is basic grammar. So I'm going to click on it. There's already a video for my writing lab and how you're supposed to work through it. It's in the week 1 folder. That folder is going to stay open for you. So if you need to go back and review that video from the week 1 folder, please go back and do so. I want to make sure you're totally clear on what it is I'm looking for in the writing lab. Long story short, I'm looking for you to work through all 11 of these pencil topics, starting with parts of speech and going down to prepositions. You're working the overview animation, one set of recall, one set of apply, before you do a post test. And remember, your post test is the only thing with an 80% standard on that will change your pencils into stars to show your mastery. If you don't get a star on every single part, it's okay. Try your very best. We just factor everything into your overall grade. Okay? I'm going to click off the lab now. That's it, guys. That's what I'm looking for this week. We're not ready to write an essay yet, but we'll probably start talking about that as we move into week 3. So don't feel like you've missed anything. Essays are coming right around the corner. We're still kind of getting our feet wet in terms of getting acclimated and started in the class. So if you have questions, as always, feel free to email me. There's a nifty little link in your blue box called Email Mr. Blumenberg. You can send me an email that way. If you have questions, just let me know. But that's it, guys. Hope you're finding these videos helpful, and good luck this week.